Today you spoke the news about Del Martin passing away, and you got a little teary-eyed during it. Tell us what it was like hearing it this morning.
I just found out about it right before I went up on stage, and it's hard to describe my respect and admiration for Phyllis Lyon and Del Martin and what they've done to change this country and to change people's hearts and minds, and to reconcile those that may be a little different than others, but to humanize the LGBT community, and to do what they've done on advancing fundamental human rights is second to none. And to hear that really one of the heroes in the civil rights movement in this country passed away, and someone that I was privileged to marry just a few months ago was difficult for me. And I know politicians aren't supposed to get up there and show any emotions, but it was human and real because she was an extraordinarily human person and a person of total authenticity, and lived her life out loud and never took no for an answer, and demanded equal justice and equal rights, and she got it just a few weeks before she passed away.
Do you have any thoughts about what her legacy is or should be?
Her legacy is a living legacy as long as we make it real, and that's continue the work that we need to do by defeating Proposition 8. I mean, the idea that her marriage, in essence, would be invalidated, even if it's not legally invalidated, but invalidated in the context of its symbolism, not just its substance, by the voters overturning a court decision and twice a legislative sanction, would be devastating. This would be a huge setback in LGBT community rights and movement, and it's frustrating with respect to some of my heroes in the Democratic Party, and that we're saying one thing privately and doing another thing publicly. So I demand, as she does, equal justice, equal rights, full equality, and you can't separate an institution by making it a lesser institution. No one argued for that in 1967 with interracial marriage, when 70% of Americans opposed interracial marriage. No one said, well, why don't blacks and whites get married, but call it a civil union? No one had the audacity to say that. How dare they have the audacity today? I say this with respect to those that disagree with me. I say that about the gay community, and really what's at stake is her legacy and her life, and that legacy can continue, or it can have a big setback and be an asterisk, and I don't want to see that happen.
Speaking of Proposition 8, the Briggs Initiative, which happened in the 70s, Harvey Milk from the city of San Francisco campaigned against it. Ronald Reagan actually at the time spoke out against the Briggs Initiative. Milk was filmed in the city of San Francisco this past winter, and it's going to be premiering in October at the Castro Theater. What did the filming of the movie mean to the city of San Francisco? And you were very cooperative during the filming. What did that mean for the city?
Well, we were happy to have the film done in San Francisco, but more importantly, it's what that film and its message will carry in terms of being able to highlight one of the extraordinary figures, again, in the LGBT community, and one of the great figures in San Francisco's history, in California's history, and U.S. history. And I have only been told great things about the movie. I haven't even had a chance to see it, but I'm told that Sean Penn is mesmerizing.
Who plays Harvey Milk.
Who plays Harvey Milk. And the impact of the film, I think, will be felt for many, many people and for many, many years to come. So I'm just extraordinarily hopeful that it's a success, a box office success, so it could be distributed widely. And I'm told it's nothing less than that. Josh Brolin as well apparently is magnificent. So
plays Dan White.
So it's Dan White, and eerily so for those that were there during this period of time. And of course, it's an issue that I'm reminded every single day. We have Harvey Milk bust at City Hall, and I stand there literally just a few feet away at my desk every single morning. I walk through that door right where George Moscone was also assassinated the same day that Harvey Milk was assassinated, and it's a stark reminder of the history of San Francisco, history of the LGBT community, the history that's still unfolded with now Senator Feinstein, who took the ascendancy as mayor of San Francisco and ultimately became a U.S. Senator. And again, it's all part of this weave of narrative that's part of Phyllis Lyon and Del Martin's life and part of Harvey Milk's legacy. All of this coming to fruition at stake here in 2008 in California in Proposition 8, and that's why it's just so fundamentally important that we defeat it.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, Senator Obama has not yet come to endorse full marriage equality. Is that something you're hoping for?
Yeah, I think eventually he will. I think it's understandable, frankly, in this context, in this political climate. A lot of folks are still not there yet, and I understand the politics of this arguably better than any human being alive, since I have been very identified with it and have been on both ends, receiving the praise and the critique of the issue, and as a consequence being defined by this issue as a politician when we're about about a lot of other issues as well, but those are difficult to pierce because people just want to focus on one issue over another. So I understand it. He came out against Prop 8. That's significant. Even Governor Schwarzenegger's come out against Prop 8. That's significant, Democrat and Republican. But we eventually cannot be a party that stands on the principles of Brown versus the Board of Education as we celebrate its 54th anniversary next year, its 55th anniversary, where separate as fundamental construct is not equal. And as we commemorate Brown v. Education, let us not forget that there's still a question of equality, full equality, that's being discussed today in the United States of America. Folks, separate is not equal, and it's going to be an argument that's going to lose its power and lose its punch very soon. So I hope those that believe in equality, true equality, Democrats and Republicans, reconcile the fact that words do matter and that there is no such thing as separate but equal. And so civil unions is nice, it's better than what we have in most cases, but it's not full equality. And for those that are married that believe in civil unions, I'd ask them, why isn't it that have not turned in their marriage certificate for a civil union? If it's the same thing, what's the big deal? I've never seen one politician that supports civil unions that's married ever say, well, I'm happy to get rid of my marriage certificate, because when they asked their fiancé to marry them, they asked that question, not the question, will you civil union me? It's a very different question.
All right, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
I'm Corey Johnson for TowleroadTV. We just spoke to San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom, and we got news this morning that Del Martin from Del Martin and Phyllis Lyon, the first couple to get married in the city of San Francisco in 2004 when Mayor Newsom ordered it for the city and county, and the first couple to get married when it was legalized by the California Supreme Court. Del Martin passed away this morning. She was in, I believe, her late 80s, and Mayor Newsom today was teary-eyed speaking to the LGBT caucus here at the convention. Mayor Newsom's probably going to run for governor of California in 2010, and it was nice to get his thoughts on the movie Milk and on the election and what's happening with Proposition 8. I'm Corey Johnson for TowleroadTV. Keep checking back with us.